What's up, y'all? This is Matt Moore. I'm a husband, a father, a writer, and yeah, a self-confessed serial griller.
This is gonna be a burger like none that you've ever had before. Give it all we got here. This is fun. Hot eats, cool treats.
No scripts, no fluff, no excuses.
Forget about it.
Join me and the crew in my backyard and beyond. Just real food, good folks, and the fire that brings us together. This is Serial Griller.
This grill is an absolute beast. This is the Flammcraft. It is versatile. It's built with craftsmanship, German engineering. It's got 13 different cooking variations and 9 different attachments. We are doing everything: breakfast, lunch, appetizers, mains, desserts. What better way to start the day than with a little bit of pizza? With a couple of changes, from a pizza stone to a rotisserie to a teppanyaki, they've thought of everything. Infrared technology, ceramic burners. This is a cordite non-stick stone. I'm just gonna evenly heat both of these zones so that I get my stone up and hot with that crispy crust on the bottom of this pizzette. Just go ahead and close our lid, let that heat start to convect. We've had our stone just preheating over medium-high heat for about 15 to 20 minutes. I'm using just a store-bought dough, a little more casual this morning. We're cooking up a really wholesome, easy, simple breakfast. And don't be stressed, we can just fold this in half. Kind of a nice little pizza. And there we go. And we don't want it perfect. There's beauty in the imperfection. And then all we want to do is just let the heat and this beautiful stone start to do its work. Just let that heat kind of convect around it, and then we'll finish it off with a few toppings. This pizza is coming together really quickly, and this is exactly what we want to see, this bubble. That means we've got the heat from our dough. I'm just gonna kind of pop this down. You can see just how beautifully this stone is giving me that really nice base and even layer. Another really great ingredient, some sun-dried tomato, bruschetta. This is just a stunning way to tell your guests, your family, hey, I got up early, pizza for breakfast, I love you. It's gonna be a good morning because we had pizza. Can't have a breakfast pizza without some farm fresh eggs. I'm just gonna crack these eggs and sort of nestle them in. Just let it run all over. Everybody's gonna get a bite. Just want to cook these until the yolks just set. That tomato, smell of the dough. This is actually the hardest part, is just the patience. That dough is getting really crisp on that stone, but we're just convecting the heat to kind of work the way around the eggs until they're cooked up to that kind of medium consistency that we want in the yolk. Oh my goodness. So our eggs look absolutely perfect. Huh. Crispy, perfect little crust there. That stone has done its magic. A little bit of green in the morning, maybe to heal the wounds of the night before. And then I love just some nice tangy feta, the good stuff. This is just gonna give it that nice creamy balance. Just stunning. Just to finish this off, some fresh cracked pepper. Just a little bit of kosher salt, primarily for the eggs. Give that some season. A drizzle of extra virgin olive oil. Tell me how simple that is, how elegant this is. Crunch. You look at that jammy egg, the arugula, it's spicy, it's peppery. Give it a real Matt Moore bite here. Oh my God. Like, look at the undercarriage. Boom. This is how I want to wake up every morning. If you're like me, you go on a trip, you have a great time, but you sort of wax poetically when you get back from that trip. It becomes even more romantic. This is one of those dishes from the south of France, a tuna niçoise. I love to bring that feeling and that moment back to my own kitchen here in East Nashville. This little portion of the grill up here is called the offendak. This little roasting pan, this is really my jam, man. I can just kind of let the grill do its thing, push that back in, Let those roast for about 20 or 30 minutes. Just take our eggs, we'll put these in here. I'm gonna just take some of these cherry tomatoes. Some you can slice, some we might want a little bit of a pop. We're gonna take these haricots verts, green beans, and I'm just gonna get a little bit of char. So put those directly on our grate. Potatoes are roasting off in the offendock. Just gonna make a very simple vinaigrette. In addition to the shallot, a little bit of garlic. We're gonna complement that fish with a little anchovy. Now, I know what you're thinking. If you like Caesar salad, you like anchovy. Some red wine vinegar. So we'll just give this a shake in a mason jar in the south. Not the south of France, but we're thinking we're there. We'll go ahead and season this up. Plenty of kosher salt, fresh cracked pepper. A traditional vinaigrette is basically gonna be like 1/3 part acidity to a couple of parts of olive oil. So it's kind of a 1-to-3 ratio. I like the tang. So I'm always a little bit like 60-40, kind of my speed. Now our green beans are really nice and charred. We just want to pick up some of that smoke. Our fire is super hot, and it's time for us to use one of my favorite ingredients, and this is yellowfin tuna. We just patted that dry to get a really nice sear. I'm just gonna season this very simply. Some fresh cracked pepper. Sometimes, I don't know, people get a little bit lazy. They don't season both sides. Just take that extra moment. Now tuna, we all know, should be eaten rare. That's one of the reasons that I've got these ceramic burners, this infrared heat. We'll go ahead and open up our grill. Just gonna put this right over the heat. And that sear is exactly the sound that we wanna hear. I'm always thinking about heat and controlling heat. So in this instance, because we've got this beautiful tuna fillet, the last thing that I wanna do is close this grill and start to convect even more heat around it. So what's happening right now is I'm gonna leave my grill open. It's direct radiant heat. We're just worried about that sear, and because I'm not closing the grill, I'm not gonna cook that tuna through. So that's one of the little tips that if you've cooked tuna or maybe a steak, and you're worried about maybe not reaching that rare consistency, leave your grill open, let it do its work. It's underneath. And then I'm gonna get that kind of crosshatch sear. And so we also need to think about conductive heat, like how hot is that grate? Where I've had this piece of fish, it's gonna be less hot. So I'm gonna actually turn it, but also move its placement on the grill as well. So just like 90 seconds, that crosshatch. Again, we're gonna move this to another part of the grill just so we're getting that conductive heat as hot and as fast as possible. Again, we want this to be rare all the way through. Just get that smoke and that char. All right, so like in less than 4 minutes, this tuna's ready to rock. This is cooked rare. We don't really have to let it rest much other than burning our hand. So I'm just gonna take my knife. You can see edge to edge, that beautiful blue rare right throughout the middle. I'm using a really nice sharp knife. Quality ingredients like tuna need to be treated with respect. Good quality zwilling knife, just kind of fan it out. Take our potatoes, warm and cool contrast of this dish. So here we have it. Inspired by the south of France, brought to you in East Nashville. Just take that vinaigrette, kind of some niçoise style olives. And as that vinaigrette kind of soaks into that potato, gets into our tuna as well. Sort of a choose your own adventure lunch. Nobody's watching. A little vinaigrette, tuna. The char with the acidity, that anchovy paste is kind of swimming throughout. You kind of get that mix of flavor here. Charred green bean. Maybe a little cracked pepper. Never been accused of not having too much pepper. This is a home run. Serve it family style. It's casual. It's elegant. It's healthy. C'est en triomphe. Oui. I read a book called A Southern Gentleman's Kitchen. Part of the joy of writing books is you get to travel all around, meet really interesting people, but you also get to have some really delicious food. So this is a dish that has been inspired from Jekyll Island. Beautiful place, South Georgia. Kind of used to be a paradise for the rich back in the day, but there's the Jekyll Island Club. Had the opportunity to spend a day with a shrimp boat captain in Georgia just to really talk about and celebrate like how important those local waterways are, the freshness of that product. A lot of times people are afraid to cook seafood, well, because it's very easy to overcook. Our bread is on, it's about to come off. These shrimp are only gonna need maybe 60 seconds per side. Got our flamme craft really dialed up. Beautiful. And already, my shrimp, they're just kind of lifting off the grate. So when you're cooking shrimp or fish or any kind of seafood, if you go in and you can't lift it, it needs more time, okay? Let's go ahead and turn our shrimp. And also we gotta think about the residual heat that's gonna continue to happen as we pull these shrimp off. Really lovely. Shrimp boat captain, Michael and I, we go back to the Jekyll Island Club and we have one of those dishes that is one of the reasons I write cookbooks. It was a beautiful, just poached shrimp, but instead of a cocktail sauce or remoulade, they just served it with a traditional buffalo dressing. And this is kind of my fun play on that. I've got some whipped cream cheese here, some smoked blue cheese, just to give a little bit more essence. Fresh squeeze of lemon. Lemon and seafood have a great affinity for each other. Keep an eye on our shrimp. What too charred of an exterior, right? I still want that like really succulent bite. It's been over our direct heat. I love where we are. I'm gonna take this, let the grill do its thing. Completely indirect heat. Here on the flamme craft, because we have such precise temperature control from our ceramic infrared burners. High heat over here, lower heat over here. Just a matter of just turning our dial. And this is kind of like taking a bruschetta, if I was Italian. Just kind of put this together. A little bit indulgent. We're keeping it light though with our shrimp. We'll be generous here. I'm just using kind of like a 15-20. I don't want it to be too big. I think somebody's gonna end up with a little extra shrimp. That's for me. Just to finish this off, this beautiful buffalo sauce. What a drizzle. A little chive on top. Just a touch. Just a beautiful dish. Great for entertaining. Let's get in here. Which one do I choose? This one looks great. Again, it's super important to make sure that the shrimp is not too big, right? I want the bread to kind of be that base. Got that creamy kind of cream cheese, blue cheese blend. Of course, the shrimp is cooked perfectly. And then over the top, I love cooking for you guys, man. This is outstanding. Go make this today. Stop what you're doing. So easy, so good. You can do this. One of my favorite weekends is coming up here in East Nashville. It's called Tomato Fest. It's quintessentially weird, quintessentially East Nashville. And it's a time to celebrate kind of the end of summer. Probably one of my favorite dishes. The beauty is in the simplicity, but we're gonna change it just a notch. A caprese salad, but not any caprese salad. You guessed it. We have to, of course, put it on the grill. My tomatoes are perfectly ripe. I'm gonna go ahead and season them with a little bit of salt and pepper. And I've got my flamme craft over here, rip-roaring hot. The precision, the engineering, the versatility. Listen to that sear. You know, I trust a grill like this. I'm only gonna cook these tomatoes on one side. If I turn these over, what's gonna happen, these are already really ripe, fresh tomatoes, they're gonna overcook. About 45 to 60 seconds on these tomatoes. I'm just gonna go ahead and pull that off. That's all I want. Just enough to say that we did. Hear that char? That sear? And these still have plenty of integrity. Fresh mozzarella. I just love to tear this by hand. Kind of reminds me of playing with string cheese as a kid. I've got some fresh basil, salt, some extra virgin olive oil. And then I've just taken some really good aged balsamic vinegar, fresh cracked pepper. This dish is so beautiful. right, so it's a great night because it's steak night. It's a family favorite in my house. I'm gonna use a really beautiful butcher's cut. This is a flank steak. It is versatile, it's affordable, it loves a marinade, takes really well to high heat. With the natural striations that you get throughout this cut, I found it sometimes a little bit hard to sear. So I'm just gonna take a knife and just give it a little bit of a crosshatch. And what you can see is that I'm just kind of breaking up those natural striations, just come back across. This is sort of almost a flash fry of a marinade. So I've got some garlic coming in here. And you'll say, yes, this is a lot of garlic, but this is not all going in the marinade. We're just gonna create one marinade that's gonna go on our steak. And as that cooks, we're gonna create something that's called a board sauce. Again, entertaining, cooking for a date night, cooking for a family supper. Should be something that's, I think, very approachable, very simple. So our garlic, I'm gonna take about half of that, and I'm gonna reserve the rest over here. Also, a fresh parsley. I think that green gives a little bit of color. Again, about half of this goes on our steak. We're gonna do some extra virgin olive oil, some red wine vinegar for some acidity, fresh cracked pepper, some salt. We'll give this a few turns. We'll get some of that garlic, some of that parsley, open up that meat. It's already a really tender cut. I have got my Flammcraft sear zone. This sear zone is gonna cook up to 1600 degrees. And because flank steak is often something that's a little bit hard to sear, I've set myself up for success, but the quality of this grill, well, watch this. It's exactly what we want. We're just gonna give this enough time till we get that Maillard reaction. This is the moment that we wanna celebrate all the things that brown food is good food. So we're just gonna grill this as hot and as fast as possible, just over that sear zone, that direct heat. Just let it live there for just a second. We'll give it another turn. I don't want the crosshatch. I want that really beautiful sear throughout, just a deep, rich crust. So every 30 to 45 seconds, right on this sear zone. This is the purpose of this right here. Oh my goodness, this is fun. See that? We can go more. Now, if it was a different cut at this point, we would probably move this over to indirect heat. But again, because it's our flank steak, we've already cut it open. We're just gonna let this continue to rock and roll. This is one of those times that you invite your friends to come outside and let them show you that you know what you're doing. Okay, we'll give it a flip. Look at that. I'm just gonna kind of finalize and assemble my board sauce. Got our garlic. Just gonna add in some shallot. I like some capers. Just kind of run your knife all through these ingredients. A couple minutes. Steak night dinner. Some crushed red pepper. What I love about this too, talk a lot about like resting a steak. In this instance, it's a really short rest time. We seared this so hot, so fast. We'll move it to our indirect heat on the grill. Just let that kind of hang out for a second. Kind of the secret ingredient here. This is gonna be some Dijon mustard. Just gonna use my spoon, fresh cracked pepper, give it some salt. We're gonna take our steak, just let this live right on top. The steak is donezo. It's coming off. There we go. Look at that. So our steak has been on top of our board sauce just a couple minutes. This is cooked to perfection. We're just gonna go ahead and kind of mix this all together. Steak night, favorite night. Huh. Oh my God. It is so flavorful. And that sear on the outside, plus that tangy Dijon, letting that steak rest on top of the capers and the shallot and the garlic. I mean, just serve it just like this. Super simple. Family dinner. Slicing it like this stretches to feed a crowd. One of my best dishes. Make your steaks at home. Serve others. So good. Anybody that knows me knows that I'd rather have another glass of red wine than dessert, unless there's maybe Sour Patch Kids. But this is one of those desserts that I absolutely love, just because of the simplicity. We're gonna take some watermelon, extra virgin olive oil, got my Flammcraft dialed up, and put it right on my grate, direct heat. Just let that just do its thing. So I've got some pistachios. So about 90 seconds, just a touch of sear. 90 seconds for dessert, I'll take it. That chopped pistachio. I love a little bit of chewy sugarness. Sugarness, the word? Kind of like the Sour Patch Kid that you didn't know that you needed as an adult. This is just crystallized ginger. Gives it that kind of bite. Keep the coolness coming. Vanilla Greek yogurt. Favorite ingredient here. Some crushed black pepper. You're saying black pepper on dessert? Yes, I am. Some extra virgin olive oil. Hot eats, cool treats, whatever it might be. My mouth is literally watering for the watermelon. It's ripe. It is so sugary and delicious. The ginger is chewy. You kind of have to keep going in there. And the crunchy pistachio, the cool yogurt. I cannot stop. This is summer on a plate. So it's my favorite time, cocktail time. This is a cocktail that is inspired by my wife and our first date. And this is the first time that I had this particular cocktail, known as the Brown Derby. And this is a cocktail that originates from LA. So we're bringing the Brown Derby to Nashville. We've got our chicken cock Kentucky straight. Add in some clover honey, fresh grapefruit juice, 3 ingredients. An homage to my beautiful wife, Callie. The Brown Derby from Los Angeles, California to Nashville, Tennessee.